I see it's coming up live on my thing right now. Gonna wait and see until we get a couple people on. Some people are joining in. Jackson Schulte joined in. Schultke. Drusilla Miller. Welcome, Drusilla. Welcome back. Andy Lund. Let a few people join in. Ooh, a bunch of people just jumped in. I'm here, but I'll be right back. Need to feed the pack. I don't blame you, April. That's what we're doing. Matt Green. Mike Mecca. Congratulations, Mike Mecca. And tell Melissa congratulations. Someone else joined the world on the 21st of February today. Greg, let's do this. Brian Quigley joined. Matt Green, happy birthday. Thank you, Matt Green. Happy birthday. I appreciate that, guys. Really a great day so far. Despite what you might think, I'm going to turn this down. I'm struggling. We're not going to go real long tonight. The Hawks are playing the Wild, so we're going to make it relatively quick. So if you got questions, get them in early. We won't rush through it, but I would like to watch the game tonight. But so let's see. I'm here till I have to go back to work. Brad's in, Kevin's in, Mike Schulte's in, Justin's in, Taylor's in, Jeff Trudell is in, Brian Quigley, John, Megan. Gosh, great numbers right now, guys. Awesome. Share away. Let's do a nice one tonight. If you saw my post, I wasn't joking 100% when I put the Dumb and Dumber quote up there. I am looking for some redemption tonight. I think if you tagged along with us this morning, you'll know what I'm talking about. 21 again. I turned 21 again today, Matt. So thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. It's been a tremendous day. I'm going to be spending some time thanking a lot of people for wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate that. Been a great day. Struggled this morning though. Got a lot of stuff done this afternoon. Couple things that have been on my mind, stewing greatly. That's one of them. I listened to that all day today, and I'm not sure. She had a really rough day. She started out rough. She struggled greatly this morning on retrieves. If you were with us this morning, you would have seen that. She just didn't settle today. She settled fine after we fed her, but I took her to the office with me today, and she's just been a pill. She's just been too much for me. Now, today was such a nice day. I really wish I would have been able to tie her out. Couldn't do it. Had too much stuff to do at the shop, and I didn't have the right setup. Thinking about setting up to tie her out starting tomorrow. We're going to be spending a lot more time in our warehouse during the week. We've got so many things going right now, and I've got a lot of time that I'm going to be spending there. So I'm going to rig up for the balance of the week with weather. I'm going to try to, I don't want to even pay attention to her right now. I don't want to give her the damn satisfaction. But so I'm going to rig up so we can start tying her out. I want to start working on a little bit of heel work pretty quick, and so I need her to start to give the pressure to the neck, and I'm not going to do that before we get the tie outs going. So that's something that I'm going to be working on, and I'll show you guys as I get that going. A couple things that I thought about today. It stewed on my mind was the struggles that I'm having with these little retrieves, and I really appreciate so many people commenting this morning and saying, you know what, they like seeing that. We like seeing you have a lot of issues and struggle. On one hand, I think it's awful. On the other hand, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys understanding. I think it is important. I think that's the point of doing it, is to see that things don't always go that well with us. So how do we deal with it? That's how you're going to have to deal with it too. I had a guy send me a message today and tell me, I shouldn't even say it, but he said, hey, I really enjoy watching these videos. I've got a pup that's about the same age, and I'm really enjoying watching you struggle with what we're excelling at. And I thought, okay, I'm pretty competitive. So I started thinking about it, and I said to myself, here's one thing that I'm going to remind myself. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So I guarantee you I'll be there in the end with these dogs. And I think sometimes we have to remind ourselves of that. I think you guys should understand that too. Don't think for a second that you have to. Oh, Hawk scored. Yes. So don't think for a second that you should be keeping pace with what I'm doing. Don't think for a second that you should be watching other dogs. I am going to really start sharing some of the pictures because I'm getting a lot of videos and a lot of great pictures from a lot of people. I got one tonight. I got several tonight, actually. Let's see, this one stood out to me because she's been Kaylee Thompson. She sent me a nice little video tonight. I'm going to be sharing it. One of the things, Kaylee, that if Kaylee's in, I don't know if I quit scrolling down to see if Kaylee's in, but Kaylee chimes in pretty steady. Kaylee, great video tonight that you sent me. Now, what I need you to do is I need you to be more serious. So I'll show her video. I question your seriousness. Like, that little puppy probably questions it too. There she is. She's in. So, great job getting that dog to steady up. So, Kaylee has been very involved and active and supportive of what we're doing with this live. I know why. She's got a little puppy at home and she's going through the same stuff. So one of the things I want to, by seeing Kaylee's video, I'm going to be able to say, I thought it was great. I didn't get to see a lot. It was real short, so I didn't get to see a whole lot. I didn't get to see how you set it up or anything. But what I thought was great was the result. You kind of questioned the idea of her bending and running around, not taking a real straight line. That's okay. I can give you some ways to fix that. Line her up next to the cabinet. So you in between the cabinet. So like if I have the dog here and I put the food there, use this wall right here to help you run a straight line. That's going to help you. The other thing is I want you to take it serious. Your voice wasn't real serious. You giggled. and you know, that little puppy hears that and goes, maybe not. I mean, I think it was fine, but be real strong. Be firm. I don't think you have to be harsh. I think you got to be firm. I think you got to be confident in what you're doing. So I want to hear that confidence come. So my sister joined in. Welcome, Renee. Just getting a little dog training in with Renee. So I'm going to take the pup out because we're going to get started. I'm going to make this one a pretty short one tonight because the game is on. Melissa, thanks for wishing. Melissa, congratulations on the baby today. She wished me a happy 21st birthday again. So let's see. I'm going to put my boots on. Now, we're going to start this the same way we always do it. We go outside. We get that pup outside and she goes to the bathroom. And we don't have accidents. Because right now, we're about to go into our routine. And tonight's routine, I'm going to turn this so you can see. Tonight's routine is going to be relatively simple. So I'm going to set the pup down. And when I said we're going to totally redeem ourselves, I meant it. We're going to have a nice, easy lesson tonight. I am not in the mood to battle with this little girl anymore today. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. So I'm going to let her do her business. I tell her, hurry up. She goes, finds her spot. Good girl. Very good. And she does it. So, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come on, 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 come on. Here she comes. Good girl. Very good. Very good. We're going to bring her in. Now, she found her way through the wall. That's all right. Tonight, all we're going to do is we're going to get some recalls. We're going to get some sits. We're going to get a little bit of me stepping away from her. So like a little bit of a remote sit. Here she comes. Go lay down. We're going to get her a little bit of a remote sit. And then we're going to feed her. Steadiness and feed her. So I'm going to dial her in. I'm going to flip this. I'm actually going to turn this around. No, here's what I'll do. So that I don't lose her. Put her down. I'm going to set this up. Just going to have you guys watch this in the kitchen. So I'm just going to do a little bit of recall, back and forth, some sits. I'm going to turn the game down. A lot going on. So I'm just going to mute the game right now so I can get as much focus out of her as I can. I do have a little bit of kibble tonight. I'm going to set her down. What are you doing? Sit, sit, sit. Good. You can see she's real feisty. Come here, come here, come here. Sit, sit, sit. So feisty tonight. Oh, you can't see her. Come here. Sit. So I'm struggling to get even a sit out of her. She's just so wound today. Come here. Sit. Good. I'll give her something on that. Come here. Good girl. Come on. Come here. Sit. Sit. Good. No. Sit. Sit. That time I didn't give her food. Boy, she's really wound. I'm going to tip this so you can see it just a little bit better. She's just had a rough day today. That's all right. I have rough days too. Come here. Sit. Good. Now, I told Kaylee to be serious. I'm going to get a little more serious with my tone. Come here. Sit. Good. Good. Sit. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Sit. Sit. Good. So you can hear, by me amping up my tone a little bit and sounding a little more serious, this time I'm going to give her a piece. Come here. Come on, come on, come on. Sit. No, 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 no. Here's where an attention span might come in. Come on. Sit. Good. That was a real nice one. Very good. Sit. Good. No food on that one. So now, we've been working on extending her sit and getting her to sit for her bowl of food. I don't even have her bowl of food ready tonight. Come here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, no. Here's that attention span. So she's over. There's more interesting things over here. There's a dog. Come on, come on, come on. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good. Good. Now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to get her, hold on 1 second, I'm going to get her bowl of food going. So I got her bowl of food. I'm going to get it going with the water. And what I want to do is, tonight I'm going to reverse it, and I'm going to send her this way instead of sending her the way we've been doing it. But what I'd really like to do is get her to sit, and I want to take a step back, and then I want to take a step back to her. So I'm just extending some time on this sit, okay? So I'm putting... This is the layer that I'm adding tonight. We've been doing it a little bit with the bowl of food, and surprisingly, in my arms right now, she's extremely calm. I got her kind of I'm holding her kind of funny. She's still pretty calm. So now I'm going to try to throttle back a little bit. I'm going to ramp down, and then before I feed her. But I want to get her to sit. Sit. I can't see it. That's all right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend that I got the bowl of food out. So I'm going to set this up similar to how I would if the bowl of food was out. Sit. You can barely see the top. No. So when she scoots on me, I grab her. Sit. One step. Nope. So she's ducking out. She thinks she's got an escape route. So I'm going to go a half step. Sit. Sit. No. The tone of this lesson has changed greatly. Good. Good. Very good. The tone of this lesson has changed very intensely. By me picking her up by the neck, that was part of it. By my tone being much stronger, and I actually gave her a little bit of correction, we really changed how things are looking. It went from, boy, he's a really good buddy of mine who's just going to let me run around the house and kind of have a good time here before we eat, to, holy cow, he's kind of serious tonight. Yeah, I am serious. I'm not going to ask a ton out of her, but I am going to make sure that I get a little respect out of her too. So let's get another one of those. Sit. Kaylee, this is what I'm talking about with your tone. What a nice change. I'll even give her food for that. Boy, and she took it nice too. So, very nice little change, subtle change in my approach as far as me being serious. Extreme change in her behavior with focus. Sit. No. Sit. No. Sit. I lift up on her chin. Two steps. Very good. Very good. Okay, come on. Come on. Very good. And I let her come off of that one. Come here. Come on. Come on. Sit. Sit. No, no, no. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sit. No. Sit. Good. Good. So she's getting there. She's not sure, because remember, this is only the second day that I've asked her to remote sit. When I say remote sit, I mean put a little bit of distance in there between me and her, with her sitting, asking her to keep her butt still. Let me turn this. Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys a little bit better view. Same thing. I'm going to make sure you can see her, so you can see my feet there. Sit. Now this is what you could do with your older dogs if you can't hold on to them. If the dog breaks, what do? Pick the food up. Because what I'm trying to do is, I like her sitting. We've gotten there over the last week or two. Gotten nice response. But I haven't gotten her to place her butt and keep it. She usually sits, gets rewarded, and is pretty quick to get back up. Now what I'm trying to do is get her to understand sit means sit. Means I stay sitting. Doesn't mean just sit and move. Nice little eyes to me too. Really throwing a curveball in it. Take another step. So, Spry, 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 good girl, good girl. Now, did you notice that? That's the first time she's done that. She hesitated to go. So, what does that tell me? What we just did over the last 2 days is really sinking in. Actually means something to her. She's questioning whether or not she should go now. So, trust me, I can build that up, no problem. It's the dogs that don't respect the idea of not breaking that I have problems with working backwards. So that was A-okay. I don't mind that. Because I can really, it's easy for me to loosen them up on a line. It's harder when they're so ready to break that I have to, the second I move. Someone made a comment the other night, is she really releasing on her name, or is she just releasing on you moving your hand? And I think it's a combination. I want it to be both, but I also don't want her jumping the gun, because if she's doing it based on movement, well, from here to here is movement. So if she's doing it on movement pretty quick, I don't have to, I move a finger and she's going. It's that same thing as when you're bird hunting, and if dogs break, first they break when you shoot. Then they break when you lift your gun up. Then they break when you click the safety off. All these things, they back the whole process up. They reverse engineer what's going on and go, what triggers this? I'm going to get a retrieve. So backing this up, I don't want her breaking on my hands. I don't want her breaking just on sound alone. I want her breaking on the name and the action at the same time. So that's why, if you back up a couple nights, I started talking in these lessons. Prior to that, I wouldn't say a word because I didn't want to tempt her. I didn't want to say something and have her hear it and go. because we were so early in on this concept. Now the concept's starting to sink in. It's starting to sink in enough that I'm actually able to move around a little bit. This time I went out, set the food, I came back, I went out, I came back. So she's starting to be, I'm keeping her honest a little bit. Let's reset it and do it again. Sit. I time the command sit now. That's another repetition of sit that I just got. I'm going to add distance. I just about doubled it. Percentage-wise, big. Distance, 3 feet. Not that big. But that's a big step to this little one. I extra move there. She's not breaking on me. Now this time when I send her, I might put a little more oomph in my voice. Spry, Spry. Good girl, very good, very good, very good. And I time it with praise. So this time it took me 2. Spry, Spry. And she goes. The time before, I think I did it 3, maybe 4 times before. So like I said, I can go the opposite way pretty quickly. Another time of that, she probably goes on her name the first time. Or at least the second time. The problem is when they jump the gun and I want to try to back them up and re-steady them. I'd rather have a dog be too steady. I don't know if it's possible, but I'd rather have that. So I'm going to flip this around. That's it for tonight. I am going to call that a big W. I am going to say after this morning, lots of success. I don't want to end the day on 2 fails. I wasn't saying this morning wasn't a fail. It wasn't very strong. But like I said, I'm competitive. And here's the thing. I thought about this all day long. So I realized she was 10 weeks on Friday. So I realized that I retrieved with her for 3 nights. Love the thumbs and the hearts, guys. She does too. So I realized I've only been doing this like 3 days. So for me to have realistic I tell people all the time, you can do stuff, but have realistic expectations. Well, it's time for me to listen to this. So I have to have realistic expectations as well. So anyway, back to her today. She really had a rough day. She was very unsettled at the shop. She whined constantly. She just really didn't settle in very good today. She had a little bit of an upset stomach, I think. I don't need to get into a lot of details on it, but she had an upset stomach. Is that part of it? I don't know. Might be. We didn't do a lot of exercise prior to this evening. I got home before it was dark tonight. It's the first time this week or for several days now. So I actually got a chance to take the big dogs out, and I took her, and I just took them for a walk. I made some retrieves with the big dogs. So this little one got a little bit of energy burnt today. That was good. So she, come here, come on. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Very nice. Very nice. There's our little after dinner burp. Come here. Come on. Sit. Sit. Doesn't end. Never ends. We're just going to reinforce what we were working on before. Just because dinner's over doesn't mean we're done. Come on. Come here. Come on. Sit. Sit. Very good. Very good. So, what I've noticed is my tone of voice, she's very responsive when I give her a little tone. Okay? So that was good. So I'm gonna be happy with that. But now I'm gonna put her on. So back to today. She really struggled today. She had a tough time settling in. She apparently had a little bit of an upset stomach. She struggled this morning. I struggled and just kept thinking about it. What kept coming back in my head was, dog training is not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're going to get there. It's going to take some time. So let me go through some of these questions. First off, great work tonight, guys. Good numbers. It looks like a lot of questions. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. Because like I said when I started, the Hawks are playing in the wild right now. Okay. Megan Smith is in. Megan, I had a conversation with Chris today. which made me feel better. Chris and Megan have twin sisters to Spry. They have Fee. Fee is having the exact same issues right now. She's doing the exact same things. So Chris called me and he said, it felt so good for me to see what you're going through right now because her sister's doing the same thing. Does that mean that there's a problem? Not a chance. It means that we both have these little puppies that right now, their instinct on their retrieve right now is not there for me. But it will be. I guarantee you it's there. I made the analogy this morning of she's a combination lock. Like when we were in high school on our lock. She's a combination. I got to figure out the comm. I don't know what the comm is right now. And I've tried what usually opens the door, and it hasn't. So I'll be brainstorming constantly here. We'll figure it out. I've yet to have a 10-week-old puppy beat me. So here we go. Happy birthday, Miss talking to you at the Whitetails Unlimited Banquet. Noah, missed you in lacrosse. It was a good show. It was a good show, man. It was a good show. Happy birthday. Cats are on at 9. Go Big Blue. I'll make it quick, I promise. Krista Yister joined in from Iowa. Nick Ackerman is in from Iowa. Melissa Springer was in. I don't know if she still is. Congratulations to Melissa. Mike was in early. Now that's true DogBone love when they have their baby today and they're still following us. Hello from Texas, Jose. I don't know that we've had Jose, and welcome aboard, man. For anyone who's new to this, we've done these now for a couple weeks. You might want to go back and check out the progress. That's the other thing I had in conversation with Chris tonight was I get so woe is me and feel so sorry for myself with struggling with the little puppy. Well, wake up. All I got to do is look back 2 weeks and go, hell, I was happy to get her to settle in my arms after less than a half hour. Well, tonight proves that we've taken some steps, so we're going to continue to take steps. Had some really good success tonight doing some indoor trailing memories. Excellent, Lyle. Lyle chimed in. Lyle's got some tracking experience. He talked about his tracking dog the other night in her heat cycle. Mike Schulte's in. Jose, happy birthday, thank you. Happy birthday, thank you. You deserve a great day. I hope I had a good one. It was great. It was great. Steph is on her way home. It's going to make it even better. So, picked up my chromer this past weekend. Nice work, Justin. Guys, we're going to have chromers available that are going to be logo DogBone. I'm going to post it here this week. I hope, Justin, maybe it's time for a second, but what color did you get? But we're going to do a pre-order on them where you can order any color chromer you want with DogBone logo on it. And then after that, they're going to be gray, like the one I've been wearing. We may get black, but we're going to start out with gray. So if you're interested, hold on. I'll get the stuff. We're working on getting our website set up so that we can have the stuff. But I'm going to take a pre-order on it, and then we're going to order them any color you want. They're in that pre-order, otherwise they'll be gray. But appreciate the chromer love there, Justin. We're going to be in Minnesota this weekend at Rogers in Cabela's. We're going to have Stormy Cromer, great friends of ours, has given us some awesome can coolers. So we're going to have some really good can coolers to give away for the seminar. Alan Harmon joined in. Mike Clark is in. She misses Steph, no doubt about it. Yeah, we all miss Steph. Melissa's got me pegged on my birthday again. Everyone has an off day. Yes, try not saying anything at all when trying puppy retrieve. Patrick Allen. I tried that, Pat. My struggle with her right now is she seems, and it's not just in retrieving. So here's my hurdle that I'm trying to get over. And Chris is having the same thing with Fee up in Michigan. These pups, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but these pups are very, very comfortable by themselves. They're just not. And part of it I think is me. I don't know that I've made the right connection with her yet. I don't know that she trusts me 100%. I don't know that I like it when a dog wants to be by me more than not. And I usually don't have an issue with that when they're young like this. So, but I'll give that another whirl too, Patrick. My thing with her is I feel like we have not made the connection yet. And I got to get her to have better feel with me and me better feel with her is my concern right now. Renee for the shout out, no problem. Happy birthday, Jeff Trudell. Thank you. My dog took to this immediately and will not eat until I say his name. Now, if I only can get him to stop eating the other dog's food. Stefan took to it immediately. They do catch on so quickly, and part of it might be, part of it I believe is because it's so easy for us to be repetitious. We feed the dogs twice a day. There's 2 lessons, and there's such a great reward in it for them. So I feel like that helps to influence their progress in a relatively quick fashion. So Justin Schmidt is in. Welcome, Justin. Thank you for the birthday wishes earlier. Brian Pikarowski is in. Cody Miller. Wyatt Anderson joined in. Welcome, Wyatt. Brian Weiss joined in. How's Brian over in Nebraska? Maybe a new pair of matching socks for your birthday. Did you get... damn it. You got me again. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Hey, I'm not going to make it. Whatever. You got me. I'm tongue-tied right now. Nicole joined in. Nathan Yisker joined in. I'm not going to turn the camera on. I'm blushing. I'm out. Keep up the good work, little brother. See ya. Happy birthday. She needed the dad voice. Yeah, I think tonight it was a tone thing. Saw a nice change with her when I just got a little bit firmer. I think what I stress is finding that level and then backing off of it. So find the level you need in order to get the change, and then start backing off, so that when you really need it, you can always go back and get it as far as tone. But if you're at the same level and it's on the high side, when you need it, you don't have. There's nowhere to get any more of it. So I'm a super soft approach. If any of you have followed along any amount of time, you'll know super soft. So the lightest amount of pressure in order to get the change. That's what I'm looking for. Tonight, I picked up a little bit of tone and I got some nice results. Josh Verts turned in. Welcome, Josh. I've learned a lot from the past couple days. You might have been frustrated with retrieving lessons, but you always shown to take a step back as a trainer and try to set your puppy up for success. It has changed a lot of my thinking as well. Chris, I really appreciate that. I think these little mini lessons, and I'll call them fails. Some of them are not the type of success I'm necessarily looking for. I think the reason I'm showing these is it's hard. It's hard, and it took a lot to convince me to be willing to do it, because I thought, who likes to show their weakness? Who likes to show their fails? I think they're valuable because I think people need to see that, because that's what happens. So what I'm really thinking is, and by hearing you say that, Chris, this makes me think you're getting it, man. You're getting it. Here's the thing. This is a micro example of a hiccup, a bump, and I've already had a few. I've had a few other ones along the way. This one maybe affects me the most so far, admittedly. So I admittedly have to learn to deal with it, but and I will. But what it is it's a micro example of the big picture of training, what we're doing. And I think you could get philosophical, and you could probably say it's a lot like life. So when we run into these issues, we can get to the point where we take literally steps backwards from the end result by trying to ram ourselves forward. And so what I want to do is be able to convince myself, convince you guys, and then also practice what I preach a little bit. So this is a micro example. I'm going to run into some more. You guys are going to see more of it with her as the time goes on. So awesome lesson. Thank you, Kevin. I am going to say that tonight was a very nice lesson. I'm going to say it was an 8.5, maybe an 8 3/4. I'm not giving her a 9, but it was pretty good. And by design, it was relatively simple. I wasn't going to push and get myself, try to dig out of a hole. It doesn't work. So we're going to get some success. I'm going to work on my connection. I'm going to work on getting a better feel with her. So Sean Rummel, happy birthday. A couple mugs. I'm with you, brother. Cheers to that. Love your video. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Where'd you get that bed? You can get them on our website, Jordan. DogBoneHunter.com. Someone probably jumped on that for me already. They are a Caranda style bed. Where did you get that dog bed? It's nice. Here's the beds on the website, so everybody got on that one. Thanks, Joe. April Marie. I had Tiffin up on the table and started hold conditioning. Excellent. So April has been following along with some of our old lives. Here's why I like Facebook Lives, because they're saved. I spend way more time on Facebook Live than I do Instagram Live. That doesn't mean we don't use it. I still use it. Problem with it is they're not saved. So if you're not catching it live, we're not helping as many people. So I like this because we can easily upload them to our YouTube, and they're saved. So April is taking advantage of that, going back to a live sessions that we did on hold conditioning months ago. So we went through and we took twin sisters. Now, she wrote a bunch. Let me read this. I shared pictures of that to the DogBone wall. Since then, I figured out a way to move the table into the house. So much better for me, too. Earlier, I put Ozzy on it, 3-year-old BCGSD mix. He really fought the dowel being put in his mouth. He doesn't have much for confidence to begin with. His lack of confidence could put Ellie's moments totally to shame. Oh, boy. Ellie's a pretty soft dog. It was tough getting his mouth open to put the dowel in because he clamped his mouth shut so hard. What can I do to make that better? Sorry for the long comment. No, that's quite all right. That's why we do it live. These things don't work well if I just record them and play them, because we don't get any of this stuff. So this is why we like it. What can you do better? What can I do to make that better? And I'm assuming you mean to get the dowel in. I will take my fingers and I'll go right up over the mouth and get my fingers in, and I can usually have my other hand, now I won't be doing it with a phone, I can usually have the other hand here with the dowel ready to get it. So all I gotta do is wedge it a little bit to get the mouth open, just a touch, and then I can just roll the wooden dowel in typically. I think the other thing is without seeing it, and I don't know if you put the pictures up or the video up. I'd like to see a video if it's possible, because that would probably help me help you. But part of it too is, you know what, if you have a dog that's timid, so I'm thinking without seeing it, and I'm commenting off the hip, but if the dog is fighting it that hard, maybe don't put the dowel in yet. I might go to just getting the dog up there and getting more comfort out of her, getting it so she doesn't have to fight it so much. And part of that might be comfort level. It might be you just getting her, petting her, praising her, telling her it's all right. You know, I think I did that with Ellie. I'm trying to think back, but I had to do that with Ellie quite a bit just to get her confidence up, to get her tail to wag. If they're not in a state of mind where they're accepting the idea of this, they won't learn. So I don't want to, we don't want to turn this into a wrestling match, because all it's going to turn into is defensive. And then when they're defensive, they're not learning. They got to be in a good state of mind. So you might look at that, April, and say, you know what, it might take me a week before I go to the dowel. But as long as you get her comfortable, get the tail wagging a little bit, get the happiness there, get her in the state of mind where she's actually going to absorb some of this, that might be your first steps. So a video would help me out with that too. Hello from Dover, Ohio. Just ordered about 10 minutes ago. Awesome. Thanks, Troy. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining us here. Edward, thanks for joining us. I'll buy one. Could always use another. We just got beds in. We were out of most sizes. I think we had an XL or two. We have beds come in, so I've got embroidering to do, and they'll be available here real shortly. So there is one guy out there, I'm not sure who it is, who's got a large on back order. I'll probably shoot you an email tomorrow to give you an update on it, but you'll see it soon. Libby Marsh joined in. Welcome, Libby. It's a DogBone life, isn't it? When I send my dog for his retrieve, he lunges at my hand as he breaks for the retrieve and then takes off for the bumper. I feel it's the snapping noise I make. Have you had this problem before? Let me read that back. When I send my dog for his retrieve, he lounges, I'm guessing that's lunges, at my hand as he breaks for the retrieve and then takes off for the bumper. I feel it's the snapping noise I make. Have you ever had this? So you're snapping your fingers and he's coming after your hand? Is that what I'm getting? So if that is the case, I'm not sure what his interest is in the snapping. And I guess the other thing is I'd like to see how you're lining them. I'm not sure if you're lining them the way we line, more of an English style, or if you're lining more of the American style. So that makes a difference on what hands you're using and how your body is in comparison to him. You've seen me line them out like a rifle. My forehand is the sight, the tail is the rear sight, and I send. Try not snapping.
send with the motion and releasing the name. See if it's the hand. Is it the snap? I think I'd try to figure out a little bit more before I'd be able to give an idea of what it might be. So I'd line with whatever. I don't know if you put his name in here, Chris. Whatever your dog's name is. If it's Tom, I'd line out and Tom, and I'd see if that is still getting the action on the finger. You don't have to snap. I like to snap because at times that might be what I get him to go on. It just depends on what the scenario is. Jeremy, your videos are teaching me patience. I'm learning what it takes to train a pup and also what it takes to train the trainer. Marathon, not a sprint, has got to be the mantra to follow. Thanks for the education. Thank you for following, Jeremy. There's nothing here that I've invented. Nothing. Dog training has been done for thousands of years. I think what you got to do is you got to find your style. I think everyone's got their own style. So I think every person should listen to as many people as they can, pick up as much stuff and drop off as much stuff as you see fit. We've had a lot of success. I'm learning. I'm still learning, man. I learn every dog I train. I'm going to learn something with this dog. So we'll keep moving towards that, and as long as you're open-minded that way, I think you're going to be just fine. And then patience. Patience is a necessity. Did you crack a cold one? You're darn right I did, Nathan. Vicky, good evening, Vicky. My dog is possessed when it comes to the retrieve. Good thing. But he growls as he's picking up the dummy. Ever seen this before? Pat, I've seen dogs become pretty high energy on the retrieve. I don't know that I've necessarily had them growling. I've had some pretty bold, come to it pretty bold. I don't know that it's an issue. What I would be concerned with is if we've got hard mouth tendencies. That would be my concern. We need to have dogs that I need a dog to have a soft mouth. I don't want dogs to become aggressive. Usually growling can be connected to some aggression. I don't want that coming out in a retrieve because, boy, birds take a beating that way. I don't like chomping, so hold conditioning helps get through that. If you've got dogs that have tendencies to chomp, a solid hold condition will typically fix that. Growls as he's picking up the dummy, I don't. That isn't my concern. My concern would be if he's coming in and growling. Then we've got some possessiveness issues. I don't want that, and that could lead back to dominance things. That could be back to the same stuff we're doing with this puppy when I hold her upside down into my arms and I make her submit to me. All she's doing is laying upside down and she has to settle in. I should be doing more of that. That's part of the connecting thing. So it's going to be, I was going to say I'd grab her right now and do it, but it might be tough for me to do it. Let me try it in a little bit here. So it could go back to a dominance thing. Where's the dog in your pack? Good stuff. I'll be following and catching up. Pick up my pup in 3 weeks. Paul, you got a whole bunch of good stuff, I think, to look back on that will bring you back to about that 7-week mark. Doesn't hurt to be watching these, I think, too, if you can catch them. The nice part about the live part is it's really interactive. So welcome, Paul, and congrats on the pup coming in 3 weeks. Be sure to share with us. I got that video tonight, and I got a couple of them today. And I got several pictures today, so thank you guys for doing that. Oh, and she's home. She made it home. So I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick, guys. Yeah. So, link to the bed, and for those who are interested, thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. How do you go about getting a 9-month-old puppy over being gun shy? Oof. Hey, Taylor. My first question would be, how'd you get there? So, that's a long one, Jackson. Ask me that one a little earlier on the next one, and I'm going to answer that for you, Jackson. I'm not going to blow you off on that one. I'm going to get you an answer on it. There's ways to do it. There's ways to work towards it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you. What do you got there? A cake?
2 dozen donuts.
Oh, boy. Now, here's a good little temptation for this puppy. You know, mom comes home. Literally, 2 moms come home. So, good way to wake her up. Now, I'm going to probably have to get her outside and go to the bathroom so we don't have an accident. So Jackson, I'm going to answer your question. I'm just not going to do it tonight. I apologize. I'll record Ozzy when he's, yeah, do that. One whole conditioning session per day per dog is good, yes. Yeah, I think you can do it more than once if you have time. I don't think it hurts. So worn out. Yes, she was. Steve Aiken joined. Jacob Wheeling. Videos have been very helpful. Have a 3-month-old yellow lab. Place training is still a bit of a struggle, but getting better. Retrieving is going well, but letting go is a struggle. As long as you're sharing it with her, don't turn it into a tug of war or a keep away deal. So you sound like you're on the right track, Jacob. Place training is something that can be extremely easy. It's probably one of the easiest things you'll do if you're very, very consistent. And at 3 months old, so you're talking 12 weeks, 2 weeks older than this one, if you've got gray area and you've got some issues with dogs breaking off, it's time to tighten down the bolts on that one, Jacob. Like, no exceptions. Like, you're going to have to go back to the way I did it with the puppy when it was just a little thing that would jump off. And from now on, it's a zero tolerance. It's a real slippery slope. So don't allow it to slip. So tighten down. Hey, Stephen Taylor. So Megan saw you come in. Thank you for the happy birthday, Stephanie. Sounds good. I'll try not to snap. I've just become attached to it at this point. I'm the same way, man. I'm a creature of habit. I have nothing but time, so we'll work toward doing 2 sessions. Gosh, April, I'm jealous. Keep it up. Your sessions are so helpful and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for all the views tonight. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for the reviews. I've gotten some excellent reviews this week, and that means so much to me because that's why we do this. There's no other reason. So thank you for doing it. I appreciate all the birthday wishes, too. So talk with you guys in the morning. Tomorrow, I turn 22, I guess. So talk to you later.